As the next day passed, I couldn't help thinking about that question, whether this would be the day that I would finally be subjected to the scrapper's torch. Jibes and teasing from Diesel's working in the yard didn't help either. It was the longest day I'd known. Eventually, night fell and my crew emerged well. My driver looked around. "There must be some coal around here somewhere," he said. Before I or my fireman could reply, the sound of a whistle drifted through the air. I gasped. "That sounds like a steam engine." "One of Sir Topham's engines?" my fireman speculated. "Could be," replied my driver. "We're close enough." They quickly climbed in to see what was going on. We didn't have long to wait. A few moments later, a black shape emerged from the night, shunting a goods train into a siding near me. I had never been so glad to see another steam engine. I heard him come to a stop on the other side of a string of freight cars. I didn't think he had seen me. There was a faint clanking sound as his driver uncoupled him from his train. "Let's not hang about here," he said. "Ye ken this place makes my wheels wobble." "Aye, there's no argument," replied his driver. Took me a moment to realize what they had said. About to leave, and I knew I couldn't miss this chance. "Help!" I called, as loudly as I dared. Douglas stopped. "Who's there?" he called. "Are you Sir Topham Hatt's engine?" I asked. "Aye, and proud of it." "I'm Oliver. But what are ye doing here?" "Escaping." "Escaping? From scrap?" "Yes," I replied hopefully. "Then I'll be glad to help ye, but it will have to look as though you're to be scrapped." I smiled, for the first time in 2 days. Douglas gently buffered up to me. "There's no time to turn around," he said. "I'll have to run tender first." Our crews worked quickly, chalking scrap all over my body and removing my coupling rods. We quickly headed for the main line. We got as far as the foreman's office. "What's this?" he said.
"Scrap engine."
"You can't take these." "Aye, but they're for us," replied Douglas's driver. The foreman carefully looked me over, and I could feel my wheels wobbling. "Seems in order," the foreman said. "Right away, driver." "That was a near thing," Douglas said. "We've had worse," I replied, thinking of that encounter with 7101 outside the quarry siding. We soon reached the bridge to Sodor. "We're home," Douglas said. "They can't get you here." We soon reached Crovan's Gate, and Douglas shunted us into a siding next to the works. "Thank you, Douglas, from all of us," I said. "Dinna fuss yourself," he replied. "I'm glad I could help ye, but I had better get going, otherwise the Fat Controller's going to wonder where I am." "The Fat Controller?" I asked. "That's Sir Topham Hatt," he explained, and with that he puffed away. The workmen arrived an hour later, and they were surprised to find us there. "We had better call Sir Topham," said the foreman. "No doubt he knows something about this." But when he arrived an hour later, he was just as surprised as the workers. I quickly explained how I had got there, and he spoke to my driver and fireman for a few minutes, and came around to me. He wasn't smiling or frowning, but I couldn't help feeling a little apprehensive. "Oliver," he said, "I think that you will be perfect for the Islesborough branch. We're in the process of reopening it." "Do you mean I can stay?" I asked. The Fat Controller chuckled. "Of course you can stay, Oliver. No matter what happens on the other railway, steam will always have a home here." I was glad to hear it. When I came out of the works, it was the best I had felt in years. I hadn't felt that healthy since I'd first come out of Wolverhampton, decades earlier.
They do a good job.
Agreed, Alice.
Sir Topham's rescued a few engines, hasn't he? You, me, and Douglas.
Oliver chuckled. Yes, he has a habit of doing that.
I should get going then. It was nice to meet you, Oliver. Thank you for telling me your story.
It was nice to meet you too, Alice, Oliver replied as Alice left.